Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Prattle podcast. I'm your host, Dennis, and once a month, I like to sit down with a friend and discuss a pop culture topic that has been on our minds. With the release of Cruella around the corner, I invited my girlfriend Kat to discuss the live-action Disney remakes. To clarify what that is, I'm referring to the recent string of live-action adaptations of classic animated Disney movies, starting with Cinderella in 2015 up to the recent release of Mulan last year. Each of us watched a different set of movies, and in this episode, we regroup to share our thoughts, discuss how they compare to the originals, and nosedive completely off the rails once again. Let's get right into it. I hope you enjoy. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Dennis.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Good.
So, now I've heard people say that you are the expert when it comes to talking about live-action Disney remakes. Would you say that that's accurate?
I want to know who told you that.
It's all around the internet. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's clamoring for your takes.
Yeah, I can't say yes. I can't say no.
Oh, it's top secret?
Yeah.
Is it confidential?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you seem to have some clout, so I'm glad to have you on the podcast where we're going to be talking about your expertise, live-action Disney remakes, specifically from the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, my major in college.
Right.
Live action Disney remakes.
So for this episode of the pod, we both went back and watched, for the first time, some of the recent Disney remakes. I watched Cinderella, Aladdin, and The Lion King. And which ones did you watch?
I watched Beauty and the Beast, Dumbo, and Mulan.
And I guess right out of the gate, did you like any of the movies?
I didn't hate Mulan.
But the other two?
I didn't hate Beauty and the Beast. I kind of hated Dumbo a little bit.
Wow.
It was a little depressing.
What was depressing about the movie or the failure on display?
Both.
Oh.
It's already not like a super, like it's kind of a sad movie, honestly. At least
I don't remember what Dumbo, like his mom died.
Yeah.
Is it like Bambi, but he's an elephant who can fly with fat ears?
Pretty much. I mean, they get separated, I guess. But it's just like, animal abuse is kind of like a big theme.
Oh.
So, anyway, I mean, I think there were good parts about all of at least 2 of them.
Okay. Would you ever rewatch any of them?
No,
right? I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
Cinderella, actually, of the 3 that I watched, I think Cinderella was the best one, which I was not expecting at all.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I love Cinderella, Aladdin, Lion King for me.
Mine was Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, Dumbo.
Is that all is it animal based? Is that why? Is it just the CGI animals just don't work?
No, because it seems like the only CGI, like really, really CGI animal is Dumbo.
Right.
And like they just have real animals for everybody else, but they had to make Dumbo look stupid with like cartoon eyes and like the ears. I don't know. It's just like, and everything else was okay. They kind of made the setting a little cartoonish too, which I didn't like, but like they had real people and I don't know.
Right. There wasn't a CGI Danny DeVito running around.
I wish that would have been better.
That would have been great.
They should go back and remake it.
Again, yeah, in 30 years, they'll do an all CGI remake of the live action remake of Dumbo.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. Okay, so the top 3 complaints that I hear when people are discussing these movies are as follows: lacking the personality of the originals, corporate cash grabs, and the small changes they do make are worse. So let's go through the 6 movies that we watched and talk about each one of those elements.
Yes.
So starting with, I guess I'll start because I'm throwing this at you.
Okay.
So lacking the personality of the originals. All 3 of these suffer from that for me personally. Cinderella, there just isn't the music, which is fine. I wasn't missing it, but like the fairy godmother doesn't sing bippity boppity boo. Helena Bottom Carter plays her in this movie, and she shows up and she says it when she like casts a spell, but there's no like song. It
Oh,
wasn't like egregiously awful, but like it had me missing that one song that I remember from Cinderella.
interesting.
But that was really the only thing with Cinderella. It wasn't as like didn't have that old school Disney charm to it.
May I add something?
You may.
I had the opposite experience with Beauty and the Beast. I felt like the songs made it worse.
Mm.
Which, I mean, if they didn't have them, would probably also be bad. But like they added in it seemed like some random songs that maybe weren't in the like the original
Yeah,
movie
I
or
have a
the
problem with music
Broadway
in every single
show.
one of the movies that I
Right.
watched.
Yeah. And I found myself liking Mulan a little bit better because it felt more like a real movie because they didn't have the songs.
Mm.
And like there were like a couple moments where like you heard the little tune from like
Right.
Reflection or whatever the song is. Um and you're like, "Oh, that's fun that they just added that in there." And it's better than if they were singing.
Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's hit or miss because with me, they did the singing in Aladdin, and I thought it was like, ugh, like pretty cringy because the way they shot it. I guess I'll just move into my next one, which is Aladdin with personality wise. It felt like they were trying to make a live action cartoon in a lot of ways. Like there's a big song, when like Aladdin's singing, he's running through like the streets being like, I'm a street rat. Whoa. And
Yes.
he's got Jasmine. They staged that like it was a cartoon and they had him like jumping around the streets, but it felt so stilted because it's live action. So these are real people. And it's like the staging of like the running around, it felt fake. Like it just all felt super staged. I mean, obviously it is staged, but it
Right.
felt like I'm watching someone allow Aladdin to sing this song instead of someone trying to capture Aladdin,
Right.
Not that the music itself wasn't bad, but it didn't feel right. And then obviously the big thing is Will Smith is the genie and it's not Robin Williams. And I didn't hate Will Smith in the movie. He's just kind of weird that the weirdest fucking part about Will Smith being in that movie is they
What?
gave him a buff blue CGI body instead of just making him blue. And then, because then when he's a normal guy, he's just Will Smith. So it's like, why'd you have to make him like thick? Like they made him so thick. It's not
He
like
looked bad.
he looks fucking terrible. For sure he looks bad. But I don't understand why they gave him just paint Will Smith blue. Like, why does he have to be a CGI body?
Do you think Will Smith asked them
To make him
make
look
him buff?
fucking shredded? Yeah. Dude, he look, because like the original animated genie, like the Robin Williams genie, does that, like he's got like a barrel chest. He's like a big
Right.
burly man. So they did that to Will Smith, but then when he's a normal guy, it's just like he looks so much skinnier just because you're comparing him to how he looks originally. It's like it's so weird.
It wasn't a Kazam situation.
Because yeah, it was fucking weird. And going on because we were talking about the music, they add in Jasmine gets her like own original song in this, which is essentially like, you can't tell me what to do, Dad. The patriarchy. I'm gonna be heard, and that's her song. And it takes place on like an astral plane because they couldn't figure out how to fit it into the plot of the movie. So it just takes place in like a metaphorical
In the
no man's
void.
land. Yeah. It's so weird.
I mean, I didn't look into this because I don't know if I'm just misremembering, but the Beast also had like his own little song.
Okay.
Where he's just
I
like,
feel like the Beast has a song in the original.
does he?
It would be weird if the Beast didn't have a song.
I guess.
Doesn't the Beast sing? Am I making this up?
I should have looked into this. I mean, but does he have his own song? Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm remembering he does have one in like the Broadway show.
I don't know.
So
I've never seen the
maybe he
Broadway
does.
show.
I definitely
He doesn't
should.
like sing about his rose or something.
Probably about the curse.
He's like, I'm cursed. This big song where he's
right. I'm cursed.
I'm cursed. Yeah, that's Beast's song.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about you for personality wise with any of your movies lacking that personality? You think so or no?
I definitely think so. I think that, I mean, okay, I can't really speak to Dumbo because I didn't really watch I think as a child
Oh,
I
the
maybe
original,
watched
you
the
mean?
original one.
Okay,
Like
I thought you were revealing that you didn't even watch the live action.
I watched most of the live action one.
Okay.
But when like as a child, I think maybe I watched the entirety of the original Dumbo like once ever.
Yeah, I couldn't
And
tell
it
you what
wasn't
happens.
my favorite, obviously. And so I don't know if I can really speak to the personality of that movie.
Hmm.
I can say I was just like uncomfortable watching the live action one. So
So
who
either
knows?
way, it's bad.
Yeah. And then the with Beauty and the Beast, I felt the exact same way as you did with Aladdin. Like it all feels very staged.
Hmm.
Which I guess it has to, but even down to like their clothes and their hair and like their makeup, and they're just like trying to make it look so cartoony. I was like,
Okay.
this feels so weird. Like I would enjoy this so much better if they actually looked like real people. Like Gaston and LeFou, Gaston's hair is horrible. It's like this big like bouffant kind of thing that like the cartoon.
Right.
And the whole time all I could think was like he looks like Robbie Rotten from
Who?
from Lazy Town. You don't remember?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I only know it from the memes. Well, you can look it up
Yeah,
later.
I'll look it up on my own time.
Right.
I only have you for so long. You're in such high
Right,
demand.
yeah. I've got places to be after this.
Right.
Um
But what about Mulan's the one I'm the most curious about because I
okay.
heard mixed. Well, I know I heard bad things about Mulan aside from
And
the genocide.
right, and also there were things that you told me about Mulan that weren't actually what it was.
Okay, what do you
I
mean?
think you were under the impression that Mulan had like these like powers instead of just like fighting skills.
Yeah, well, I was under the impression that she like started out with like special skills and didn't really have to train.
Yes. I thought that you
Okay,
were saying that she has like magic powers.
I don't think I thought
I
I
feel
think it
like you
was like
said that
Ki.
once.
Didn't she? Doesn't she have like chi or key or something?
She, I think.
Chi.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my problems was that they don't ever like they show her training as like a young kid, but she's not being taught by anyone. She's just doing it.
Right. She's
Like,
like,
where
I
did
just
you
know.
learn this?
I know how
Yeah,
to
and she's
train
just
myself.
like a young woman, like marriage age, and she is like an expert combat woman. Like,
Before she even joins the military.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And
Yeah,
she just
that's
has these
fucked
like
up.
natural abilities. But I don't know. Anyway, what were we talking about? The
The lack
personality?
of personality. Yeah, I mean, we've also kind of pivoted into like the small changes that they make that are worse. And I
Right.
think that is
I that
emblematic of that
one,
problem.
yeah, Mulan I think had the most with that, most to say because they did change a lot.
So yeah, but is the big one that actually I don't know. Tell me about Mulan. Tell me about all the little changes that make it bad or worse.
So obviously they didn't have the dragon or the cricket.
Mushu.
Yes.
They didn't have the cricket
And
either.
no,
Fuck.
yeah.
Fuck.
Which was okay. But like the big change was that they added this random witch who
Okay.
so like Mulan is like an
Wait.
out
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
so Mulan's like an outcast because she's like different and she likes to like run around and like fight and whatever.
She likes to run around. Okay.
and uh and so they have this witch character who is siding originally with the enemy who in the original movie is it not the Hun?
It is, yeah.
So in this one I feel like they changed the name
I
of
think
them.
because that was historically inaccurate in the first one. I think did they
Right.
change it to like the Mongols in this one?
No, they're is it like the Khan or something?
His
I don't
name is
know.
Khan.
No. I don't think no, not like Genghis Khan.
Okay,
Um
just the Khan.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
whatever. There's just a made up fake thing.
Unless I'm just like I just didn't
No,
realize.
you're
But
probably right. They probably just didn't want to offend anybody, so they just made up a group of people.
Yeah, let's say that.
Right.
So originally the witch is like siding with them, helping them because
Are they still trying to take over China?
yeah, they're trying to take
Okay.
over like the empire,
Right.
and like kill the emperor or whatever. And I guess he's like, oh, I'm like, you've been an outcast your whole life. Like, I'm the only one who will like show you kindness and blah blah blah. So you have to help me. She can turn into a hawk, I guess.
Okay.
So she has these like powers, and she's like, she could kill like anybody she
It
wants.
sounds like a totally
really.
different movie.
It's weird. It's like this random, like it's like they didn't have enough material from the original movie, which they did.
Right.
So anyway, so so she, I guess, becomes like a foil for Mulan, but then she tries to say like they're the same. She's like, "You're an outcast.
That
I'm an outcast. We're the
classic
same."
speech.
Yeah, like help me. I could help you. Whatever. She ends up helping Mulan anyway, but they spend so long in the training session. Like, you know how like in the original movie, it's basically like,
it's a song.
I'll make a man out of you, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
They spend like, I want to say, I don't even know, like half of the movie training.
Wait, I thought you said she didn't train at all in the movie.
No, for the army. Like,
so she's training for what? Magic?
No.
What is she training for?
I was saying that she hadn't been trained before she joined the army, but she still was really fucking good.
Okay.
But then she gets into the Imperial Army, and it's a big group of them, and they all have to train to go into battle against these other guys.
Oh, okay.
So they're all like in their lines, and they're like practicing like sword fighting and everything. They have to carry buckets of water like straight with their arms straight to the top of this hill, and like nobody can do it for days and days or weeks and weeks or whatever. And I guess Mulan eventually is the first person to do it. She's the strongest.
Right. She's
Everybody
tough.
thinks she's a dude. She's wearing like a binder, like she has to bind her chest. She can't take a shower.
Right. Classic Mulan.
I don't know. They really played it out for a long time.
How long's the movie? Like 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
I wasn't 2.5. I would say probably closer to 2.
Okay. What the hell were we even? Oh, the small changes.
They just changed. I just feel like they changed a lot.
Right, and you can't speak to Dumbo because you don't remember it. But what about with with Beauty and the Beast? Was there any big changes?
The Beast was almost exactly the same. I did have a little beef when they made Mulan, not Mulan. They made Belle's dad. So you know how he's like this like kooky inventor?
Right, he's a wacky little man.
They made him like an artist, like a painter.
What?
Yeah,
why?
So like I don't know. So like it makes sense in the original to be like, oh, he's kind of crazy.
He's fucking insane.
Like, he makes this like weird machine, whatever. But like in this one, they're like, oh, crazy Maurice. He's a painter. Like
that absolute lunatic.
I was like, why did they do that?
Yeah, that is a weird. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like these movies. I don't know why they insist on remaking them, but then just changing the weirdest little bits. Like in Aladdin, they add in like Jasmine now has like a handmaiden who is the love interest for Genie. Yeah, so Genie has a love interest, and the movie starts with the Genie as a human telling the story of Aladdin to his kids on a boat. And you're like, that's Will Smith, so obviously that's the Genie because I've seen the trailer for this movie. And then it's like, oh, they don't show the mom's face. And then, oh, it's a big twist. It's the girl who was on SNL for 2 seasons, who's Jasmine's quirky handmaiden, who's horny for the Genie. It's a weird fucking scene. Well, not a scene. It's just a weird plot point. Like you were saying, like they just had to pad out the runtime by giving the Genie a love interest. Like,
right.
It's so like weird.
Like the whole thing where they made LeFou gay for Gaston, which I guess people just wanted.
That's Josh Gad's character.
Yes, that's Josh Gad's character. LeFou. Which this was the other thing I wanted to say. LeFou in Beauty and the Beast is just like, obviously I know it's the same actor, but like his character just feels like Olaf.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's
And
just because
then,
Josh Gad's not a talented actor.
okay, fair.
Yeah.
Well,
No, let's take him down a peg. Fuck Josh Gad. Honestly, how is he even famous?
well, here's the thing.
Get
In
wrecked.
Dumbo, Danny
Uh-huh.
DeVito is the fucking ringleader, and he's
Right.
just like, I'm like, this is big fish. Like, obviously, he's not
Yeah.
like a crazy werewolf guy, and he's a lot older, but like,
Well, it's Tim Burton also.
I know, but I was like, is this like a throw? Like, what do they call that?
An homage.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different word, but like, is that what they were trying to do, or was it a coincidence?
I don't know.
Like, why did they? I don't know. I mean,
That
he's
is
a good
weird.
ringleader, but
Well, hey, at least that's good. Maybe he's just the best ringleader they could find. They're like, why are we messing with this?
we know
We
him.
know it's gonna be
Yeah.
Danny DeVito. Why are we beating around the bush? Yeah, with Cinderella, actually, there is one change that they make that I really like. Cinderella, like, actually kind of impressed me.
Okay.
The change that they made, besides like removing all the singy songs, well, actually, they made a stupid change, but they did make a good change, and I'll start with that. And that's they gave the prince and Cinderella like a couple more scenes together to like flesh out their relationship a bit more. It's
That's
nothing
good.
like crazy intense, and it's literally a movie for babies, so it's not like it doesn't matter. But like they meet in the forest beforehand, and like they have like like a flirtatious thing. So he's like smitten with her already before the ball or whatever when they meet in the original. So like they have that kind of relationship, and the whole reason she wants to go there, she's like, I just want to. She thinks he's like an apprentice working at the palace because he doesn't tell her that he's the prince. So she's
Um,
like, oh, I want to go like just see my guy friend who I like, and then the stepmother, played by Kate Blanchett, by the way, she's like,
okay.
you're not fucking going. And then she goes anyway with magical pumpkin carriage.
Right.
But so that's a good change.
How did
Bad.
that go?
How did what go?
The pumpkin carriage.
It was weird. I don't remember if this happens in the original, but they made they made like the operators of the carriage like lizards and a goose that turned into humans, and then they have a whole the scene of them actually coming back from the palace. It goes to midnight, and like they're all transforming with the guards are like chasing after them. It's actually pretty fun. Like they're just turning back into like CGI gooses and lizards, but they're like half human, half goose for a little bit.
Ew.
It's pretty. It's wacky. But the bad change is the movie starts like 15 years, or I guess like 10 years before like the plot gets going, where it's like Cinderella's at her house with her mom, and her dad comes home. It's like, oh, we're such a loving family, and literally within like 30 seconds the mom is like, oh, fairy godmothers are real, and then she dies, and then and then it goes like 10 years later, and the dad gets remarried, and then he dies, and it gets into the plot. But it's just like, did we need to see young Cinderella for 5 minutes, and they zoom in on her fucking shoes too? Like she's just wearing like blue slippers. It's like, whoa, foreshadowing, she's gonna have glass slippers in this movie.
They want to make the
It
little
felt
kids
really
feel
weird.
smart. I think I read the original Cinderella fairy tale either. I don't know if it was in like a French class. Cinderella French fairy tale?
I think it's
It takes place in
Brothers
France, doesn't
Grimm.
it? Oh, it is. Then maybe I read it in my
It takes place in an
German
undisclosed
fairy
country.
tales. Okay. Well, I took a class on like German fairy tales. So maybe we were there. But I seem to remember in reading Cinderella, they do start with the mom alive, and like
Yeah, I'm
maybe
thinking
they just wanted to
maybe it was more accurate, but
maybe.
yeah, it
But
just
you're
didn't.
making a remake. You're not
Yeah, you're
remaking
exactly. It's like a
the
remake,
story.
so it's a little. And they call her Ella the whole time, and they only call her Cinderella because she slept next to the fireplace and got like ash on her face. They're like, oh,
Right.
Cinderella, and that's her name.
Isn't that how it usually is?
Is that how it is in the original?
I think so.
Really?
Did they just always call her?
Yeah, I looked it up because I was like, is this what it was? And it just says that her name is Cinderella in the original Disney one.
Oh, well, maybe
I
I'm just
mean,
thinking of the
maybe the
story
Wikipedia lied to
then.
me. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's possible, but yeah, those are the changes with that. The Lion King is almost a shot for shot remake, which makes it the worst one that I saw. It's like, oh, cool. So I'm watching a movie with talk about less personality. Like the animals can't emote. I'm looking at fucking Simba's like dead eyes, like as he's singing his stupid song. His mouth's not even like moving more than an inch open because they're like, we have to make it realistic. So instead, let's watch the most boring animals not do a goddamn thing. And Beyonce will be one of them.
That is I feel like the criticism I've heard the most about The Lion King.
It's really bad. Like, it's egregiously terrible.
Wow.
Like, it's not that it's like poorly made or anything. Like, the special effects are good, but it's like no one could have been passionate about making that movie because there's no soul to the movie.
I remember when the casting came out being so like excited.
I think that's why they did the casting. Because
yeah,
they're like, we have to throw everything we have at this because it's not going to be good.
their only hope.
Yeah, they did a bunch of stunt casting. They're like, let's hit all 4 quadrants. Let's get the Seth Rogen fans, the John Oliver fans, the Beyonce fans, the Don Glover fans. Let's get them all, and let's make a bad movie.
Wait, who played Simba?
Donald Glover.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then, but again, like he's in it for like less than half the movie because Simba's a fucking kid.
Right.
And Beyonce maybe has like a scene. And then when she does her, like, can you see the love? Can you hear the love tonight?
Can you feel the love?
Can you feel the love tonight? Can you hear the love tonight? She's trying so hard on the song and it actually like pissed me off. Like, I was like, get out of this movie. I hate you.
Did they do the scene where he's walking across the log and he turns from like a cub to a lion?
Yeah, except it wasn't a log. It was just like a fucking like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like an overpass. Like, I don't even know.
Oh, I see.
But they take all like the songs and dances or whatever. So they have most of the songs, I think. But you know how there's that one where like, I just can't wait to be king, and like getting stacked on top of all the animals as they go higher and higher.
So good.
That's not in the movie because they're like, it has to be realistic. So instead they just have Simba walking with a bunch of animals. Then he stands, no joke, he stands on maybe a 6-inch tall rock with the animals behind him. His mouth open like, oh, like barely fucking open, dead eyes, looking straight at the camera with the animals behind him, and then the song ends. I mean, this is snapshot of why this movie is so fucking bad.
They like switched. They should have made like Beauty and the Beast more realistic and Lion King less realistic.
Lion King should have been.
Which one came first?
Lion King's the most recent one they've done, I think. Well, actually, Mulan is.
Yeah. So maybe they like did Beauty and the Beast and they were like, oh, we got to make this more realistic because
I don't know what this, because Aladdin and Lion King came out like 3 months apart, and it feels like Aladdin is trying to be a live action cartoon, and it feels like the Lion King is trying to be like I don't even know, like it's like all CGI, just trying to be so realistic. Like a lion could never move like this, and It's just like the scenes feel horribly stilted, like I was saying with Aladdin, but the reverse, because it's like we can't make a lion jump that high. Like it just feels so stupid. It's like I don't want to watch an actual lion dubbed over. Like that's not the
Bozo
fun of the Lion King. I don't want to watch Bozo dubbed over.
Did you ever watch Lion King 1.5?
Of course I did. I think that's the better movie. I love the Lion King 1.5. It's excellent. And if they did that, that would have been excellent. But they don't have the guts.
I used to have like a place card for Nathan Lane that he was at some party at Martha Stewart's house, and my parents gave me his card. That's
fun. Yeah, okay. I guess that brings me to the voice cast of the Lion King. Generally fucking bad. Every single one of them is not as good as the original. Like I like Billy Eichner, I like Seth Rogen. They are not as good as the original Timon and Pumbaa. And
I wouldn't imagine that they were.
No. And Donald Glover seems like he's just kind of there for a paycheck. Beyonce is always a terrible actress. Generally, I don't know who hired her. Who hired this 10 years past her prime singer to be in The Lion King.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, oops. Beyonce's a washed up bitch.
Oh my God.
I'm so sick of her. She married the worst rapper of all time. She's not special.
Do you think it's harder? Do you think it was harder just to like voice act? Or do you think that it would have been better? Do you think like bad actors are better on screen?
What are you talking about?
Like, do you think it's harder to voice act or like just
I think it's different, but I just think they just were like, hey, let's cast these people without like having them really read for it.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, oh, Seth Rogen, he sounds like a warthog. We'll bring him into the movie. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like they casted the most obvious choice for every single person. But they brought back James Earl Jones as Mufasa, and he sounds old as fuck. He sounds terrible, too. They brought in the same guy, and he sounds worse. It's like an ancient man. And then, oh my God, dude, the scene, this is just becoming my rant against the Lion King. But the scene where, you know, like Mufasa's face is in the clouds.
Yeah.
They like tried to make that so realistic too, where it's like you only see the face, like lightning will flash and then you'll see like eyes in the clouds. But the whole time Simba's just talking to a fucking cloud. Like it doesn't look like Mufasa except for like a split second here or there.
They fucked up.
Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about The Lion King for the rest of this video because I hate it.
Can you just tell me who played Rafiki?
I could not tell you because he's barely in the movie.
Awful.
Yeah.
All right. What was the third thing we were talking about? Was the
third thing was the cash grabs, but I think that's just, we don't even have, obviously there's no passion behind a single one of these movies.
No, I wonder if like I want to know somebody who's like a diehard Disney fan, like those Disney adults. I want to know what they think about these movies, like if they love them. Mm-hmm. Because it's just like more content for them, or if they're like, wow, they're ruining it.
They're probably divided. They're probably a fan base divided.
Probably.
You can't please. I don't know why these movies make money though.
Right.
Like Lion King the new Lion King, which is dog shit, made $1.6 billion or some ridiculous number like that.
Well, I feel like part of it is just that like it's a movie to take your kids to. And like I feel like kids movies do so well because it's like something to
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is going to convince anyone to stop making these movies because they make them so much money.
Right.
And that's all they care about at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though Mulan, I was watching some parts of Beauty and the Beast and Dumbo. I was watching these and I was like, I feel like a kid wouldn't enjoy this. Like there are some parts in like Beauty and the Beast where like the Beast is like kind of scary, and even if you like can't see him,
that's fun, though.
It would definitely scare a small child in a way that like obviously the cartoon wouldn't. And like Mulan, obviously there's like a lot of combat. It's not like super gory or anything, but like she's killing people. For sure.
Right. Well, she kills people in the original one too. I think every single one of these movies, but I fucking kill somebody. I mean,
I just think it's different. Like for a small child watching a real person doing it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's like the disconnect when it's the cartoon violence.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question in my mind that a child would enjoy the animated originals over the live action versions, especially the movie that I'm not going to talk about anymore. Especially that one.
We won't talk about it.
No way. But even Aladdin, it's like, how do you beat I know like it's a cliche to be like Robin Williams' Genie was fantastic, but he is fantastic. And it's not just that, but it's the animation. It's like is half of the character.
Right.
He's just so zany and kooky and the stuff they can do with him. They do some of it with Will Smith, but at the same time, it's Will Smith and it's a different take on the character. Like Will Smith cannot do the Robin Williams insanity.
Does he shapeshift a lot?
He does shapeshift. Okay. I wouldn't say a lot, but he does do it. I don't know. It's fine.
How is Jafar?
Terrible. The worst part of the whole movie. Was he gay? What? Is he supposed to be gay?
Sometimes people like will come. I think there's like a list of like supposedly like gay Disney villains, and Jafar
Okay.
is definitely on
At the top of
there.
the list. Why? Because he hangs
Ursula's
out with
there.
Iago the parrot.
Maybe, I don't know. I
He's
haven't
gay
looked
for
into it.
parrots. Oh,
I
you
just
know what's
like
funny? The parrot is not voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. He doesn't even talk normally. They just make him like a parrot who like says parrot things. He's like, "You're gay, Jafar. You're gay, Jafar."
right.
His famous catchphraase. That's probably why everyone thinks Jafar is gay.
Yeah, I know. I
The
never put
parrot.
those
The
two things
parrot calls
together.
him. Yeah. No, they didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe he is gay, but they certainly didn't say it, and it's not a plot point in the movie. That would be a fucking. I would respect that take. Jafar's like, I have to overthrow the Sultan because he made being gay illegal. I'm like, okay, Jafar, I could get behind this. But no, he's just a whiny baby. He's not as good as the original Jafar. He's like, I want to be the Sultan. That's his big speech. No, there's actually a scene with Jafar when he makes a wish to be the Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where Jasmine's like, I ain't taking no shit from no man. Song comes in and she has to convince like the palace guard, who is a character named Akeem in this movie, to be like, don't follow him. You don't have to listen to him. He's a jerk. And then Akeem's like, you're right. So like Jasmine girl powers her way through the magic spell, I guess, because Jafar wished to be the Sultan, but Jasmine's like, don't listen to him. And he's like, I won't. And Jafar's like, fuck it, make me a genie. And that's it's so bad. Ugh, I hate that whole part of the movie.
Yeah, you're making me realize that like I have less memory of the plot of Aladdin than I
No,
thought.
the things I'm telling you are not in the plot of Aladdin. Like that's not a thing. There is no palace guard named Akeem in the original Aladdin.
Even like him making the wish, like I do remember them going into that little like the fiery mouth, whatever that thing was.
Oh, the forbidden treasure sand thing. Yeah, that's in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Because you were talking about him wishing to be the Sultan.
Right. And then he wishes to be a genie at the end.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not as good. And something I noticed in these movies, not in Cinderella really, because it's not trying to be this, but in Aladdin, especially in Aladdin, there's a whole scene dedicated to this. And in the movie that won't be named, this happens quite a bit too. But did you notice that there's like cringe, like awkward comedy? And I mean like awkward comedy, like they're trying to be awkward. Like they're trying to have like characters talk awkwardly to each other. And that's the whole joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck is up with that?
They do that a lot.
It's so bad.
I feel like I noticed that the most with Dumbo, but
really?
Definitely remembering a lot.
These are the three most recent movies then, because Dumbo
was just like generally really cringy. Honestly, like I didn't know who would enjoy it.
But you know what I mean? Where like a character will say something and the other characters is like, they're like, the joke is that the characters are like stumbling through their lines.
Yeah.
Dude, there is a whole scene in Aladdin and it goes on for maybe 4 minutes where Aladdin is just stumbling through talking to the Sultan, pretending to be Prince Ali or whatever. And Genie's standing right next to him like, this is, oh my God, this is rough. And it's like, is someone going to stop him from talking? It's so bad. I don't get why it feels like they don't know how to make jokes anymore in movies. So they're just like, I don't know. It would be funny if Aladdin says like the wrong thing and then it's like, duh, I didn't mean that. And that's the whole joke.
But is it just these movies?
No, well, it's like, it's a bigger problem with 4-quadrant blockbuster films that don't want to offend anybody. So they have to not have jokes and instead be like, look how stupid our characters are. They can't even get through a scene.
Yeah.
It's really bad. In Aladdin, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a specific moment where that was happening. But I don't know. I sent you a video of Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Being like, oh my God, Rongo.
Oh, Rongo the Strongo.
Rongo the Strongo was the strong man in Dumbo.
Right. That's a hell of a sentence.
Yeah, and I just like watching them interact. I just felt like I was watching Always Sunny. I was like, this is like so ridiculously awkward and bad that like but it didn't seem like it was on like it was on purpose, but in like the wrong way. You know, like they were trying to do this like cringe comedy, but it was really just like actually cringy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to do like cringe comedy, but it's cringe that they're doing the cringe. Like the cringe comedy that they're doing is cringy because they're trying to do this horrible cringe comedy that isn't funny.
Right, and it's Disney.
Yeah, and it's like, oh wow, he said he's talking to the princess and he said the wrong thing. And Will Smith's gonna be like, oh, I can't even be seen talking to you now.
It's comedy gold.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I guess this was more just a rant about Disney movies that we've seen. We didn't say it at the beginning because we really didn't set up this podcast at all. And I'll do it in the intro myself, I guess. So people listening to this would have already heard it. But yeah, we're doing this in honor of Cruella is coming out. Cruella is coming out shortly. Actually, this week, next week. It's coming out really soon.
Yeah.
And that actually looks fun because it doesn't look like it's just a remake. It's like a prequel.
Right.
It at least doesn't seem like it's going to retread on stuff that we already have seen.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be like anything from the original.
I saw like there's Dalmatians in the trailer, which is like
but
stupid.
It's not the Dalmatians.
Yeah, it's not the 101 Dalmatians.
No.
It's the 102nd one. Actually, there was a movie, 102 Dalmatians. I think they made a sequel.
There was.
Yeah. Actually, there was a live action 101 Dalmatians like 20 years ago. Do you remember that?
What? No.
Yeah. Before like they started remaking all of the movies. There was a live action 101. That's probably why they're not remaking it, because they already did it.
I have literally no memory.
Look it up. Look it up. Would you look it up?
Stop. It does look fun.
Yeah, that's what I think they should be doing. Like that Maleficent style where it's like it's not the same story, but worse.
Right.
Like, hey, stop making the same movie, but making it worse and longer.
Yeah, they just want to like add as much as they can while like getting away with as much as they can to keep it titled the same movie.
Right.
But it's
not the same.
It's horrible.
Generally.
Have they done anything else besides like Maleficent where it's kind of based on the original, but it's
not?
It's not.
I think Maleficent is really the only one. I mean, there's a couple movies we haven't talked about. The live action Jungle Book. I saw that in theaters when it came out, and I actually thought that was pretty good.
I never saw it.
That's the only one that I liked. I watched the live action Lady and the Tramp. It was fine. I don't really care about Lady and the Tramp that much. I mean, they did like the spaghetti scene and it was fine. Like the CGI dogs looked a little weird, but they didn't look like fucking lifeless like the Lion King did. They had some like personality. Yeah. And they removed the Siamese cats and just made them like regular cats, which so they fucking ruined that song. Yeah, I don't even think they have they don't even have a number. They don't even have a song and dance, those cats. They're like, we are just regular cats. Don't pay attention to us. Yeah. We're fine. We never did anything wrong as a company. That's what the cats are saying.
Yeah.
They're like, Disney loves all peoples. The cats run in, they say that, and then they leave. And then the tramp is like, who? These rich animals are crazy.
I wonder if they would ever do the Aristocats.
Is that even Disney? I guess it has to be, right?
Who else would it be?
I don't know, some dead studio from 20 years ago.
Wait, did they do something with Peter Pan? I mean, I know there's
Yeah,
like
they did a Hugh
lot.
Jackman Peter Pan where they sing Nirvana.
Huh?
I think, yeah.
Was that Neverland or something?
I don't even know. It was
I don't know. I'm
a
getting
couple
confused.
years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a Disney movie though. I think it was just like based on the story of Peter Pan.
Well, because there's like Hook. It's like they have a lot of spin-offs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're coming out. I think they are doing a Peter Pan. They're doing a live action Little Mermaid for sure.
That was my favorite.
They made it a point that they're like, it's going to be a black Little Mermaid. So,
right.
Yeah,
right.
so that's happening. That's the only news we have of that movie. And then I think they're doing a live action Peter Pan. They're doing a Lion King 2. And they're like, it's going to be like The Godfather Part 2, where we're flashing back to Mufasa's origin story while telling the next part of Simba's story, which I guess sounds kind of cool. But hey, that should have been the first movie then. Also,
is that what happens in the original Lion King 2?
No, the original Lion King 2 is, I think it's Scar's Revenge or something. It's like Scar's son. Scar's like long lost son shows up, and he like is the only like dark brown lion like that. The design, the design for Scar in the original is so good.
Yeah.
He just looks like a regular like kind of gray lion in this one. Like it just kind of looks off. He looks like sickly almost. Looks like taut. He's like got a taut tongue.
Ew.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the design.
Well, Kovu is Scar's son.
Kovu. Yeah. Oh, he is handsome.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was thinking of like isn't there a young version where he's just got like the little patch of hair on his head? Yeah. Oh, he's got like a mohawk. Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, that's the Lion King 2, the original Lion King 2. So I don't know.
Damn.
I guess they're going a totally different direction.
No Kovu.
No Kovu.
Unless.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, maybe it's the origin. It's secretly a backdoor origin story for Kovu, and they're going to spin it off. And it was going to be like a Creed type situation.
Who do you think would play Kovu?
That's a great fucking question.
It's like Adam Driver or something.
Yeah, Adam Driver as Kovu. That'd be great casting. That'll go along with the rest of the casting for that movie.
Right.
Just nonsensical choices. Just whoever they have like on their bench. Be like, I don't know. We haven't put Adam Driver in a movie in a while.
Yeah. Is there somebody who's not filming something right now? Can we sign him on?
You're Kovu. You were Kylo Ren. It's Kylo Ren and Kovu are practically the same character. Kofefe.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kovu's sister. Kovu and Kofefe.
Let's start a new conspiracy theory.
About what? That's what Trump was really tweeting about?
Yeah.
About the Lion King 2 star Kovu's long-lost sister, Kofefe. Yeah, the deep state shut him down.
Can't let anybody know.
Way. Yeah, so this has gone totally off the rails, but that's fine. We do you have it? I know you said you had some notes. Do you have anything we haven't talked about that you wanted to discuss?
I kind of just wanted to say that, well, even though it was accurate,
mm-hmm.
the image of the human beast, like the prince in cut off jorts,
what
pushed me over the edge.
What do you mean he's in jorts?
Jorts.
In the
jean shorts.
How does he have jeans? They don't have jeans in Paris.
Listen.
Wait, what part of the movie?
Like after he turns into the prince.
Oh, so when he's the normal guy, he's wearing
human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's wearing like the white, like open, flowy top
with jorts,
and then he's like down to his knees, but they literally like look like frayed.
Oh,
like he cut off a pair of jeans and he's wearing jorts, and I put it in all caps in my notes. Oh, also speaking of the Lion King animation looking bad, the Beast in Beauty and the Beast looked really bad.
Damn it! I thought he was gonna look good. I don't know why I thought in my head that he looked good. I've never seen it.
The best that they could, because like the cartoon beast also looks kind of weird and bad and
Right.
like different from other monsters, but like
Yeah, but I
in
like the cartoon beast. I think it looks cool.
yeah, I think so too, but in this one they almost made him look like the wolf, like a wolf man, like people
Oh, okay.
people who
Is he
like
thick?
yeah, he's thick.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, at least they kept that.
At least they kept that. um yeah, I don't know. I also think they throw in like random references for the actors to like other movies they've been in.
Oh, that happened. Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to talk about with Lion King. I'm back at it, baby.
Uh-oh.
There's a reference to Beauty and the Beast in Lion King. You know that scene where Timon and Pumbaa are trying to distract the hyenas,
Vaguely.
and they do like the luau and is like trying to like.
Oh yeah.
So the luau totally cut. You know, too fun for this movie. They can't have any cartoony fun in this film. So instead, Timon does a shitty French accent and does like B-R, and then the hyenas chase them and they run away. So that's corporate synergy for you, baby.
Pretty bad.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. There were like, I don't know, I think there were a couple. One that I noticed, which I also don't know if this is a coincidence or if I'm misremembering, if this is in the original movie, because it might be in the original movie, where during like bonjour, like the opening, whatever,
right.
She's talking to somebody. I don't know if it's the baker, but like he says something like I think she's like, oh, are you forgetting something? He's like, I keep forgetting what I've forgotten. And it's like in my head I'm like, maybe that was in the original movie, maybe it was in like the Broadway show, but I definitely remember it being in Harry Potter because Neville gets the remember all.
Oh,
And he's like, I just can't remember what I've forgotten.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, here's Emma Watson.
Yeah, how is she in that movie, by the way?
Beautiful.
I meant how is okay, but
I know.
how is she? Okay, well now I gotta watch it.
Yeah, she's all right. I mean,
I can't tell if she's a good actress or if she is not a good actress.
I don't, it's hard to know.
It's hard to say.
She's like an okay singer. She does all right. But definitely not anywhere as good as the original.
Right.
And like she can't remember now if she's doing an American accent or if she's I don't remember.
I don't know. Is Belle? Well, I guess Belle's supposed to be French, but does she have an accent in the animated?
In the animated one,
she's
got an American accent.
Yeah, she's just like, "Hey, I'm from New York."
In my head, I don't know. Maybe she's just like speaking naturally in her British accent.
I don't know. I could not tell you.
I couldn't either.
And there you have it. If you're done with your thoughts, have you wrapped up, or do you have more you'd like to say?
No, I guess I'm okay, I think.
Well, if you have something else, go for it. Shoot your shot, queen.
Thank you.
Like Beyonce would say.
Yeah, no, I kind of hit all these. Oh, the other reference, I mean, this is definitely coincidental, but like that they like were thinking it. They have a lot of these like wide angle shots of the Beast Castle, and you're like,
Hogwarts.
It's Hogwarts.
Sounds like you were just obsessed with Hermione Granger.
No, I mean, it's just like impossible not to think that
associate
when you know Emma Watson's in the movie. So
that's true.
I wouldn't be thinking that if Emma Watson was played by, if Belle was played by somebody else.
Right. All right. The last thing I'll say before we say our farewells is the first thing in my notes for The Lion King is as follows. These animals got no dicks. Straight up, what's the point of photorealism if you're just going to lie to the world that animals don't have genitals? Fuck this. Hey. The animals don't have dicks. There's like, you see their like undercarriage all the time. I'm supposed to believe Scar doesn't have a fucking dick? Yeah, right.
That's deep.
If you're going to make it photorealistic and then go out of your way to remove all the penises.
Do you think they would have? I mean, I don't think they would have gotten complaints.
Oh, they would have gotten complaints. If Scar was fucking hung, there would have been like think pieces in the Atlantic.
But it's not like they're just like hanging everywhere.
That's true, but then I guess they would have had to give. Listen, I'm with you. I want the animals to be fully all natural, but then it would have had to give like Nala like fucking 6 nipples on each side of her body. Or
that would have been so cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But you know, they're a bunch of cowards.
But then they have to give them balls too.
And yeah, I was thinking that
that could be distracting.
Now that could distract me.
It'd be that.
If fucking Mufasa's dead and while he's dead, I see that he has a dick and balls. I'm like, this movie is too much. This is too real.
Only if he's dead though.
Yeah, if he's alive, I'm like, this movie is not enough. I want him to have 2 dicks and 4 balls. He's the king, isn't he?
That's how that works.
Right. That's why he's the king.
God. They really missed an opportunity.
Yeah, Jon Favreau is an absolute coward for not giving any of the lions dicks or balls or nipples.
Hot take.
Yeah. And those are my final thoughts on The Lion King.
I agree.
All right. Well, if we have nothing else to say, this has been a long, rambling, not even a review. This has just been a rant and a rave, a disorganized rant and rave about movies that we didn't enjoy and hope they stop making.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Cruella, though.
I feel like it says something that I didn't really write any positive comments in my notes.
No, I honestly suffered through all 3 of these movies. Like Cinderella was fine, but also it was a short movie. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. Lion King is like over 2 hours, and oh my god, Aladdin is like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
To be honest, I think there's a lot of Mulan that you might, or at least parts of Mulan that you would like. I think that like you would probably enjoy it a lot more than you think you would have.
Yeah, it looked interesting when it was coming out. I just heard bad things about it, and I didn't want to spend like $20 on it when it released.
Yeah, I would say I give that one a lot of credit though.
For what?
For like being the best out of all of them.
Okay. I wouldn't mind showing, like, if I had a daughter, I would be like, all right, let's just throw on like the live action Cinderella. It'll be fun.
Right.
Like if she preferred that over the animated movie, like I wouldn't have a problem with it. But if like, say she preferred first of all, live action, not a single live person in it, the CGI Lion King over the animated Lion King, she's out on the street.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Fucking kick her to the curb. I'll make a new kid, a better kid.
That's how that works.
That's why in the real world, Jon Favreau, people have penises.
You just keep having them until one of them hates Jon
Favreau's movie as much as you do. Even if it takes 40 years. I'm a man. They're never going to expire, baby. I can keep pumping them out. I just need to find a willing host. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.